Welcome back. This is part 2 of our 5-part video course, Unlocking Your Potential. I am Debbie DeWitz with Master of Destiny, the online heart-centered soul academy for self-empowerment and global evolution. Are you ready to learn how we create our reality in an empowered way? Have you been curious about that secret language of creation? On our journey of unlocking our hidden potential, one of the things we need to understand is that we have two major aspects to our consciousness: the part that we are aware of, our conscious mind, and a far greater aspect that we are unaware of, the incredible depths of our mysterious subconscious mind. The subconscious has always fascinated me. When I was a teenager, I absolutely loved the work of John Williams, who wrote the book, The Wisdom of Your Subconscious Mind. I must have read that half a dozen times. I was also greatly inspired by my mom, who was a brilliant clinical hypnotherapist, had her background in psychology, and was a doctor of parapsychology. With my own natural passion for exploring the nature of consciousness, I found myself certified in hypnosis by the time I was 21. I learned that it is easy for us to identify ourselves with the consciously aware aspect of our mind and forget about our subconscious mind. After all, it is below our normal level of awareness. But let's take a look at it. If we liken our consciousness to an iceberg, we could say that the area above water is like our consciously aware self, and the area below the surface is like our subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind is a substantial reservoir of information, and to give you an idea of the vast amounts of storage, according to the distinguished neuroscientist Carl Pribram, the brain processes information in wave frequency patterns, holding unimaginable quantities of data, more than 280 quintillion bits of information in its database. 280 quintillion looks like this. This constitutes the amount of gathered information and memory that the average adult accumulates over a lifetime. Pretty amazing. Studies in neuroscience indicate that up to 97% of everything that we think, feel, or do originates in our subconscious mind. That is where the influence, dominance, and control originate from. This is also where we create much of our experience of reality, below our conscious level of awareness, with our thoughts and emotions that are programmed and stored in our powerful subconscious mind. Our subconscious moves through this storehouse, pulling up memories as though they are happening now, because it doesn't operate on a timeline of past or future, only in the present. The brain processes the subconscious mind's interpretations and directs the conscious mind to make choices and take action based on its programming, yielding and creating events and circumstances in our outer world. As it turns out, our conscious and subconscious minds speak different languages. The greatest amount of ignorance in our personal empowerment and creating the reality we want lies in not knowing how to communicate with our subconscious mind. You have two minds in one brain. The conscious mind processes through our prefrontal cortex. It is reflective. It has the ability to make conscious decisions. It is self-aware, alert, observant, mindful. Whereas the subconscious mind is processed through our hindbrain. It is reflexive, and it is conditioned by beliefs and past experiences. It is survival and pleasure-oriented. The conscious mind has the power of choice. It is motivational and creative. It is our wise mind that has the ability to dream new ways, new ideas, and make new choices. It has wishes and desires. Did you know that at least 72% of individuals dream of starting their own business? Our conscious mind is the decision maker. It is able to meet challenges and opportunities. It sets goals and judges results. It likes to try new things and to take action. But our subconscious mind has no power of choice. It is habitual, conditioned. It monitors operations of the body. It has persistent or ingrained behaviors, and it prefers the familiar. This is also why more than 80% of all small businesses fail within their first 18 months. Individuals just don't have the subconscious programs to support the dreams they have. Though our subconscious mind is programmable, it has the ability to accept a new set of operating instructions or accept a new course of direction. It can be encoded, and this is good news for us. Our conscious mind thinks abstractly, which means it has the ability or capacity to think about abstract ideas, such as peace, love, justice, as each of these ideas could be described differently by different people. Love for a child looks and feels different than love for a spouse, and love for the sunset, chocolate, or a best four-legged friend also looks and feels different. Our subconscious mind thinks literally and specifically. It is sensory-based, which means that it can literally see, hear, touch, taste, smell, and feel. With love, we could literally see a hug, we could feel a warm embrace, and we can see a face light up in a smile. The conscious mind is transitional, which means it moves from one state of mind to another. It is past and future oriented. It looks for new ways to do things based upon past experiences and future goals. The subconscious mind is timeless. Everything is present time for it, and it is not restricted to a particular time or date. It is much more fluid in its nature. If you were traumatized by a dog when you were a child, you could still easily be fearful of dogs as an adult every time you see one, because the feelings of fear from the past are still active in the present. Our conscious mind has a limited processing capacity. The prefrontal cortex can process and manage an average of 40 nerve pulses per second and has short-term memory, about the amount of time it takes to go to the grocery store and then forget one of the items that you'd been looking for. The other 90% of our brain has an expanded processing capacity and manages an average of 40 million nerve pulses per second. It has long-term memory of past experiences, values, ideas, beliefs, attitudes, information, frustrations, and trauma. There is a 1,000,000-to-1 ratio between the speed of the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. In other words, the subconscious mind processes information 1,000,000 times faster than the conscious mind. That difference alone should be enough to convince individuals that learning to access, communicate with, and use the power of their subconscious for unleashing their hidden potential is a very important skill to have. We do not know exactly how the brain processes information. Almost all of this neurodata processing goes on below the level of awareness, at the subconscious level of mind. Did you know that affirmations only work for people about 20% of the time? Have you ever wondered why that is? Most affirmations, and for that matter, goal statements in general, are too abstract to be fully understood by the subconscious mind. That's one of the reasons why most affirmations are not very effective, no matter how many times they are said or how enthusiastically they are repeated. Saying daily affirmations over and over is kind of like preaching to the choir, because you are already speaking to the part of your mind that is in agreement with you and wants to make the changes, your conscious mind. The reason saying affirmations don't work out 80% of the time is that people are speaking abstractly, a language their conscious mind understands, but not their subconscious mind, which we've learned is vastly different. We say such things as, "I am rich beyond my wildest dreams," though rich means something different to everyone. Plus, what was rich when you were 6 years old, when you got the concept about money and buying things? For many of us, $5, $10, $20 was a lot of money. We were rich. It's a big difference than today. I'm getting better and better every day. Better? Better than what? What does better mean? Or, I am losing weight. Well, no one wants to lose anything. And, I am healthy and happy. All positive affirmations that you consciously get, but it's a jumbled language to your subconscious mind. Over 20 years ago, I bought a program on programming affirmations into my subconscious mind. Repetition was their key method, and it boiled down to this. If I said my affirmation 1,000 times a day consistently for 40 days, my subconscious mind would be programmed. Well, it didn't work, and I've since learned the reason why. Like many people, I wasn't actually communicating with my subconscious mind. I was trying to coerce it with a language it didn't understand. And the beautiful thing is, soon in this program, I will share with you what I've learned on how to communicate and speak the language of creation, the language that our subconscious mind understands and can act upon. Another thing I learned was that saying daily affirmations over and over may also invoke the belief system battle, which creates a bit of a battle, like a rebellion inside. It's a strange phenomenon, but it makes sense. Whenever we begin to reshape our lives, and we haven't yet enlisted the support of our subconscious mind, we set up the possibility of creating conflict between our conscious and subconscious minds. Putting ideas into our conscious mind that differ from our subconscious belief systems can cause quite a clash, and our belief systems will fight for their very survival. Some of the ways that our old belief systems or the interference patterns protect themselves when we are attempting to make changes are headaches or other physical ailments, mood swings, depression, or tiredness where you fall asleep at inappropriate or inconvenient times, all to take your conscious mind away, to distract your energy, diverting it into something else that will need your attention in the moment. How many of you have experienced something like this? You put your mind to accomplishing something, then all of a sudden you have other commitments or tasks that come up that just have to get done first. Or you suddenly develop relationship or financial problems, or become angry. We need to be aware that these sudden flare-ups during times we are wanting to make changes in our lives, like relationship or financial problems and headaches, could very well be symptoms, but the real problem could lie in the subconscious mind that must defend its programmed beliefs. What is the best way to deal with this rebellion? First, recognize that this battle between your conscious and subconscious minds is part of the process, that there is a difference of opinion going on internally, and now that you are aware that there is conflict, you can take action to resolve it through proper communication and reclaim your empowerment at the subconscious level by aligning with the thought patterns, the beliefs you desire to have in your life. Once your subconscious mind has a new set of programmed beliefs, it must now defend those beliefs. Our goal is to make our subconscious mind our best friend. Since the subconscious mind thinks literally rather than abstractly, and most affirmations are stated in an abstract way that only your conscious mind understands, the best use for affirmations is after you have rewritten your subconscious thought patterns and have enlisted its 40 million bit processing support, because they can now support you building stronger neural pathways in your brain, retraining your way of thinking simply by revisiting them. They help to keep you motivated consciously and focused on your goal. And affirmations could be used more for the feelings and emotions the words create within you, as this supports you to resonate positive energy and vibrate with your goal, which strengthens your pattern. I'll cover more on this later in our course. For the moment, understand that without a corresponding pattern within the field to support the affirmation itself has no power. We can create a pattern within the field in a few different ways. Let's take a look at what the language of creation entails. The Language of Creation PDF form is available for download, and the link can be found directly below this video. With the Language of Creation process, we have two very important ways that it supports us in living the life of our dreams. One, we can take a general idea that the conscious mind understands, translate it, and communicate it in the specific, literal, sensory-based language that the subconscious mind can understand and act upon, which is a vital step to the success of accomplishing conscious goals. Now, if there are any abstract affirmations that we like, even if it is in the language our subconscious mind doesn't understand, such as, I am rich beyond my wildest dreams, every day in every way I'm getting better and better, or I am healthy and happy, We can translate them into something it does understand and can now support us at a deeper level than ever before. It also helps us take a general idea for a goal, such as, I want to live a life filled with meaning and purpose, or I want to find the love of my life. This process lets us get more specific and concrete with our conscious mind, because if we can't even get clear consciously on what these goals entail, how would you expect your subconscious mind to get clear and harness the power and resources available there? And two, this is very important. When we create anything in our life, we first have to have a pattern in the energy field. When a pattern gets fully established, fully energized, it then manifests into our current reality. So writing out the language of creation creates a morphic resonance in the field, a pattern in the field that when energized sufficiently becomes a reality. Morphic means shape or form, and resonance depends upon patterns of vibration or activity. Everything in nature has a shape or form, and its vibrational form of structure comes into resonance with other like vibrational forms of structure and increases the probability of outcome. This process has an added benefit in that it can help us to create our own personalized, life-enhancing statements for our subconscious mind programming, as well as create an energetic pattern in the field. And the beautiful thing is, we can use this language of creation to improve most any area of our life. Essentially, what we are doing with this process is creating the mile markers on a roadmap for a subconscious mind to follow, and lets us know that we are on the path to our destiny. Herodotus, a Greek historian, said, "The destiny of man is in his own soul." With this process, we become more involved with designing our own destiny and living a soul-filled life. First, we need a destiny goal. Your overall goal should be a statement of what you do want, rather than what you don't want. And I'll share a story with you. I had a lady in one of my workshops who was in a wheelchair. I asked her what she wanted. She replied that she didn't want to be in a wheelchair. I said, "Okay, so you don't want to be in a wheelchair. What do you want?" She says that she doesn't want to walk with pain. So I said, "You don't want to be in a wheelchair and you don't want to walk with pain. What do you want?" Well, by now she's thinking I'm kind of dim. After all, I'm asking her what she wants, and she thinks she's communicating to me what she wants, only she's been telling me the whole time what she doesn't want. And this is how most of us communicate in our everyday lives. I don't like traffic. I don't like my boss. I don't like how my clothes fit. I don't like toys left all over the floor. I don't want diabetes. This can be helpful information, but not too helpful to the subconscious mind for helping us achieve what we do want. And if all we are doing is communicating to our subconscious mind what we don't want, it can't do anything about what we do want until we communicate that to it. With the subconscious mind, think of it like this. It's like going into a restaurant and telling the waiter that you don't want the pasta dish. The waiter then goes to the kitchen and tells the chef that table 5 doesn't want the pasta dish. Well, until you communicate with the waiter what you do want, so that he can tell the chef to prepare it for you, you aren't going to get served. Does this make sense? If your subconscious mind, with its 1,000,000-to-1 processor, cannot communicate what you do want with the living essence of the field, you're not going to get served a new reality. Also, our subconscious mind doesn't fully comprehend the word don't. If we say, "Don't think of a pink elephant," the first thing you have to do is think of pink elephant to realize that you're supposed to think of something different than a pink elephant. It's the same with unleashing the power of your subconscious mind. You will have to communicate to it what you do want rather than what you don't want in order for it to support you, or it will continue running the same old programs in its database. With this language of creation, you are training your mind to focus on and communicate what you do want, and you're programming it for increasing your potential. You're creating new blueprints or patterns in the field for opening up to new possibilities, opening up to a new level of success in your life. A tip in getting started. Make sure that your vision or goal is not an overly inflated image of yourself and therefore a concealed form of ego, such as wanting to become a movie star, a famous writer, or a wealthy entrepreneur. If these are your natural tendencies to enhance, then go for it. Otherwise, make your goals dynamic. That is to say, an activity that you are engaged in and through which you are connected to your heart and living. Instead of seeing yourself as a famous actor and such, you could see yourself inspiring countless people with your work and enriching their lives. Feel how that activity enriches or deepens not only your own life, but that of countless others. And things can be taken in steps, building up to grander and grander visions for yourself. It's not that you can't become a movie star, a famous writer, or a wealthy entrepreneur. It's just you want to start out with something that is a stretch for where you are, but not an extreme stretch that seems too unrealistic, so that you can build upon experiences of success. The idea is for us to start out with creating success for ourselves. Then, when our subconscious gets the experiences of accomplishments rather than defeats, it can more easily and readily manifest bigger and bigger goals for us. But first, we have to build upon its success with steps it can accomplish. Let's get started. The secret language of creation is about co-creating our destiny. We begin by describing our life stream. As Albert Einstein said, your imagination is your preview of life's coming attractions. Understand that your subconscious mind cannot distinguish between what is real and what is imagined, because both concepts, both ideas begin to create internal emotions and chemistry, tracking the visual thought patterns. Using this form, you're going to write down what you want your goal, your end result to be. Focus on one written out goal at a time. You can always come back and do this process again and again, one for each goal, but we want to keep this simple. Next, you're going to envision. This is your guidance system. It is a primary language of your subconscious mind and for manifesting. As best as you can, envision or imagine a mental movie where you are in it. Hold the vision of what is to come. What will you see in your life that you don't see now that will let you know you've achieved your goal? Make this dynamic. Put yourself into the story. Imaginal cells begin to resonate and coalesce with the vision you are holding. They help guide your subconscious mind towards the life you desire to create. Imaginal cells lie dormant inside us and are like seeds of pure potential. They are activated and nurtured by a heart-coherent consciousness that releases internal chemistry and opens us up to beautiful worlds of possibilities and our own transformations. Script your highlights using literal, sensory-based language that your subconscious mind understands. Your conscious mind understands the ideas of seeing yourself content or living a life of adventure or filled with meaning and purpose, but your subconscious mind does not understand what content looks like, nor adventure or meaning and purpose. All of these can look and feel different for different people. So we want to use descriptive words when talking about abstract ideas. But something literal as a cup, we can all agree that the object is a cup. Script your highlights of what you will see in your life that you don't see now, that will let you know you have achieved your goal. If your goal is to own my own home, describe your home. How big is it? How will you be living in it? What is it like? Make it meaningful to you and make this dynamic. If the criteria are too general, such as a 4-bedroom house, in a nice neighborhood, near a good school, with a small yard so I don't have to mow a lot of grass, the results will be disappointing because your subconscious mind won't know what resources to mobilize on your behalf. And it's not meaningful or juicy enough to motivate it in harnessing those resources to move on your behalf. If you cannot consciously get excited about it, how can you possibly expect your emotionally driven subconscious mind to get motivated by it? Think of explaining to a 6-year-old child, is it exciting? If so, it will be motivated. If it is too neutral, it won't be putting much effort forward. It will just continue sifting through those 280 quintillion bits of information, being motivated by the ones with the most juice. Come up with a list of 3 or 4 really good visuals that will let you know what life will be like when you've achieved this goal. You can do as many as you're motivated to write, but it does not have to be a whole long list of things where you're just trying to make a list. It just has to give enough details to give it a clear idea of what the goal is and what it looks like. And see yourself in the picture, as if we could take a picture or a short video with you in the picture that lets anyone who sees it know you've accomplished this goal. A good descriptive example might be, I see myself living in a home with an open floor plan for entertaining, 3 bedrooms, and another for an office. It has beautiful wood floors and vaulted ceilings. I see us celebrating birthdays and holidays there with decorations up, and friends and family gathered around the table. We're laughing and sharing good food. I see myself sitting by the fire with a glass of wine in hand and watching the snow fall outside. I see myself snuggled on the couch with my love. We're watching a good movie and eating popcorn. When I come home and walk through the door, my dogs greet me, wagging their tails. I could see myself holding the title to my house in my name. My keys are hanging on the wall hook, and my car is parked in the garage. My grandchildren are making chalk drawings outside on the cement. Make the descriptions be what you want them to be, what resonates with your heart and soul. Make it meaningful to you and dynamic, and put yourself in that picture. If your goal is to be out of debt, then what would that look like for you? What would you see in your life that lets you know that you're out of debt and that you have more money? The thing about money is that it's not really about the money. It's about the things and experiences that money can buy. It is an exchange of energy. For instance, to be out of debt or to have more money may look like, I see myself signing checks for my monthly bills with a smile on my face because I know I can easily afford them and I have more than enough in the bank. Plus, I love having those services that I'm paying for, such as internet, power for my refrigerator, heating, cooling, and cooking. I see my brokerage account growing because I have more and more money at the end of each month. My credit card statement shows a 0 balance each month. I see myself going to the movies, concert, play, dinner with friends because I have the money available to enjoy life more fully. I see myself traveling more. And by the way, if you say travel, you will need to explain, since travel is abstract and means something different to everyone. It could look like, Gary and I have our plane tickets in hand and we're flying to Texas where we board our cruise ship in Galveston for a Caribbean cruise. We swim with the stingrays. We take a tour through the jungles of Cozumel. We eat at a table in the cruise ship dining room, looking out to sea, and make a toast to our adventures together. I see myself giving a waiter my dinner order and toasting my glass with friends at an outdoor restaurant in Mallorca, Spain. If your goal is something along the lines of, to find the love of my life, envision the things you'd be doing that lets you know that you found the love of your life. I once co-taught with Dr. Allison Ashley at the International College of Integrative Medicine in 2006. One doctor in the class was describing the relationship he wanted. It was wonderful in so many ways. He could see himself walking on the beach. He could see himself out to dinner. He could see 2 cars in the driveway. But not once had he said anything about another person in any of these scenarios. When I pointed this out to him, he chuckled and realized that if he couldn't be literal enough for his conscious mind, it was going to be harder for his subconscious mind to support this. So, when envisioning yourself with the love of your life, be sure to put the other person in the picture with you. Even though you don't know who it is yet, you could be walking hand in hand on the beach, both of you laughing over a story that was told during your Italian dinner at Maggiano's, or toasting to your love during dinner while watching the sunset together, eating popcorn together while watching a movie. Have you married? Then see yourself at your wedding, or toasting to your 10th anniversary with decorations up. Describe your lives together. Children, grandchildren, travels, your home, your pets, something that indicates you are sharing your life with another person. If your goal is to become a published author, a pilot, a business owner, something that you want to become, learn, or accomplish, then describe in detail what that looks like. If it is becoming a published author, you could envision your published book with your name on the cover, holding up one of the books and having your picture taken. You could envision yourself signing the book because you've been asked for your autograph. You could see royalty checks being deposited into your bank account and your bank account statements growing larger every month with the deposits. You could see a review of your book posted on Amazon.com. If your dream is to start your own business or improve your work environment, then you want to be real clear about what that looks like, especially if you want to succeed. What is the work that you love to do? What skills do you have to offer? Write out what your work life looks like. If you are your own boss, what does that look like? When do you work? What is your schedule like? Do you have more clients? Is your appointment book full? What do you want to achieve? If you have an income goal, what is it and why? Do you now have more time to spend with family? If so, what are you doing differently? Get clear about how you're being of service to the world and what your life would look like. Because when your vision and heart are aligned, the life you choose will be yours. If your goal is to improve your health, then describe what it looks like to be healthier. If your goal is to lose weight, then we want to describe what it looks like for us to be the size we want to be. When you think of it, no one at the subconscious level really wants to lose anything. We usually want to have something more, different, new. A better goal might be to be trim and fit, or lean and healthy. So what do you see in your life that lets you know that you're the size you wish to be? Also, describe what you'd be doing that you might not be doing now that will let you know you've lost weight. I see myself buying a size smaller jeans. I love the style and the fit. They're so easy to zip up. I see that I now easily pass up processed foods and how much I enjoy healthier foods. I have more energy to play with my grandchildren as we walk and play in the park. I like how I move more gracefully on the dance floor. I like how I look when I catch a glimpse of myself in the mirrors. I enjoy the fresh air when Gary and I take our dogs for a walk and we're walking 3 miles a day. Do you get a sense of how this is more dynamic and has more energy for change than I don't like how my jeans fit or I need to lose weight? It's like we are painting the picture with the colors of our lives rather than just the crisp visual of what will be true. In a world where too many people are disillusioned, stressed out, worry too much, live with illness, or fear of the future, we need to rewrite our vision of what our lives can be like and create potential so that we can live in greater joy, freedom, health, and creative expression of who we really are. Envisioning your goal, your end result, this is your guidance system. And emotion, this is your power source. Biochemistry and how you feel is the other of the 2 most important languages of your subconscious mind. So make this part juicy. Your subconscious mind will either naturally want to pull away from something as if it is in protection mode, or it will want to move towards something as part of a happiness and well-being mode. For the subconscious, we want to make this something that it wants to move towards and what feels like the best feeling aspect if you were to accomplish this goal. Ask yourself, is your goal something you truly desire with all your heart? If so, take some time and close your eyes. Allow yourself to really get into the emotions of how you would feel when your goal manifests. How do you feel when you've accomplished your goal? Write it down. Internal chemistry starts to track and align your desire with your emotions, and it starts to communicate with a living, pulsating essence that influences the field. I had one lady who went through this entire process describing a beautiful 3-bedroom home of her dreams in Texas. When I asked her to close her eyes and get in touch with her feelings, she said she felt lousy and that she hated Texas. She said she grew up there and complained that it was too hot with nothing but miles and miles of flat land. She loved the Puget Sound in Washington State. I asked her why she'd written in Texas for where she wanted her beautiful 3-bedroom home to be, and she said it was because she could afford a 3-bedroom home in Texas, but not in Washington. She was letting her logical mind interfere with her heart. With her emotions, her body-mind-spirit system wasn't creating internal chemistry to pull her towards her dreams, but instead repel her away from her dream home. She wasn't able to create any heart coherency to communicate with the essence of the field and support her in drawing her towards her dream goal. When she took the time to fill out the language of creation form, she was able to focus and get really clear that what she really wanted to manifest was a 3-bedroom home in Puget Sound area of Washington. So use emotion words that best describes how you feel with your visual. Your goal here is to feel good, really good. If you feel enthusiastic, then write it down. Whether it's joyful, accomplished, on top of the world, wearing a great big smile on your heart, or deep contentment, make it juicy and write them down. Then add in other notes, such as, are there any sensory experiences associated with this feeling, such as feeling like butterflies in the stomach, tingling, or goosebumps? Does your body temperature go up and do you get warmer? Or do you feel cool, as if a light breeze blew by? When you're feeling your feeling, is there a color you notice? Write those things down. I had one guy unexpectedly say that the feeling that best described his emotion was goopy. That was different, but it made perfect sense when he said that he could feel the paint from his paintbrushes in his fingers as he was cleaning up after creating a work of art. That was the feeling that let him know that he'd accomplished his goal. So it made perfect sense. While visuals and emotions are the 2 most important languages of your subconscious mind, and for communicating with the living field that surrounds us, other layers of communication that fill in the thought form pattern we are creating are sounds, scent, taste, and even color. When your eyes are closed and you're envisioning your dream goal and are feeling the emotions associated with it, do you notice any sounds, such as waves on the beach, birds or cricket sounds, children laughing in the background? If there is anything that stands out for you and catches your attention, then write those down. When I was envisioning my dream home in Ashland and feeling soul-nurturing contentment that seemed to vibrate through me, I also heard the breeze blowing through the leaves of the trees and the sounds of frogs. I felt as if I could smell the sun in the air. It's kind of weird, but that was what best described it for me. So I'd written those things down, along with the color yellow. If you notice a scent, such as if on the beach, or in a restaurant, or a freshly painted home, then write that down. It helps strengthen your neural pathways. Do you say to yourself, or do you hear someone say something to you when you've accomplished your goal? If there is something, then write those things down, but keep it simple. The idea here is, if it helps fill in your thought form pattern and create juicy feel-good feelings of heart coherency, then write them down. Next, we're going to create our life-enhancing statement. This is a clear, concise, life-enhancing statement that is in the first person as if it were true now and emotionally juicy. It can be very similar to the goal statement, or it could even be the same statement depending on how it was worded, or it can be totally different. The key is to make it first person. It's your personal destiny that you're writing. Present tense. Your subconscious mind proceeds to do everything in its power to make it true. Also, because your subconscious mind is timeless, it doesn't distinguish between reality and imagination. Everything is here and now to your subconscious. Positively stated. The orientation is towards the positive expression of what will be true. Short. This makes it easy and uncomplicated and sums everything up. Your subconscious mind easily remembers it all. If we were to look up the description of what your life-enhancing dream goal statement means in your personal dictionary, we would see that it encompasses everything you wrote out, so keep the life-enhancing statement simple. And emotionally meaningful, because an emotionally charged thought form gets the attention of your subconscious mind. It generates positive chemistry in the body, strengthening the neural pathways. Our heart coherency communicates with the living essence of the field that surrounds us, and it helps energize and strengthen the pattern in the field, bringing us closer to actualizing our goal. If your goal was, I want to own my own home, we'll drop the word want because wanting something implies lack, that we don't already have it, and our statement needs to be a statement of what will be true. Remember, once the subconscious mind accepts something as true, it continues to work towards the goal until it accomplishes it, and our goal is not to keep wanting something. We could say something along the lines of, I now own my own home, but that might not be emotionally charged enough. Or we could say, I now live in the home of my dreams. Or, I love my beautiful home. It nurtures my soul. Our other examples could be along the lines of, I now have a hot, steamy love affair that lasts a lifetime. Or, if that's a bit too juicy, how about, I enjoy a nurturing relationship with the love of my life. I am infinitely abundant and I have more money than I need. I love it. I look great. I feel great. I love my healthy weight. I am a published author. My book is in print. I did it. At this point, if you want to use a particular affirmation you like, even if it is abstract, once you've defined it for your subconscious mind in the language it understands, it has now become a useful and effective affirmation, creating a pattern in the field for building your experience of reality. Understand, you can think positive thoughts or say affirmations all day long, but if it's abstract and you haven't defined it, then it doesn't matter how many times or how emphatically you repeat them, there just isn't anything supporting the manifestation of them into reality. The language of creation is not just about communicating with your subconscious mind in the sensory-based language it understands, it is also about heart coherency and the language of human emotion. The embrace step is where you take your life-enhancing statement and embrace it into your destiny. This is where you're going to align and synchronize your morphic field pattern with the universe to support you in it becoming your reality. It begins with the 3 breaths of connect, align, and center. This helps create a heart-centered space that is aligned with your higher wisdom. First, close your eyes. If you want to experience this as you follow along, I promise you won't miss a thing on the screen as I guide you through the simple process with your eyes closed, and I'll let you know when you may open them. To connect, breathe nourishing, nurturing earth energy up through your feet. Bring it up your spinal column, and as you exhale, release the shimmering energy into the very center of your heart. Align by breathing the warm golden energy of your expanded consciousness down through the top of your head, down your neck, and as you exhale, release this radiant energy into the very center of your heart. To center, you're going to breathe both simultaneously, nourishing earth energy up the base of your spine and expanded consciousness down through the top of your head. And as you exhale, swirl both of these shimmering energies into your heart. Then continue breathing through your heart. Breathing through your heart like this creates heart coherency, and this is a secret of greater synchronicity and flow in life. With awareness in your heart area, remember a time when you were feeling love. Slowly and deeply breathe in and out, as if through the center of your heart, for at least 3 breaths. Relax. Open to feelings of deep love, inner peace, harmony, or joy. Recall your life-enhancing statement now, and bring what you desire to manifest into your heart. Ask your heart's intuitive wisdom, intelligence, and love to manifest this in the most beneficial and effective way for your highest good. Breathe with this image in your heart. Allow your heart's intention to synchronistically organize the universal field of all possibilities to manifest your desired outcome. Next, determine if there is an action step you need to take. If something comes to mind, an idea, an image, or something to do, then set the intention to take the action needed to bring this manifestation into being. When you are ready, you open your eyes and write down the action step you need to take and commit to doing it. Congratulations! With the language of creation, you've now created a very good personal blueprint, a pattern in the field, a start of something wonderful that can be co-created with Spirit. Now, how do we know if we've made a difference inside us? How do we know if our subconscious mind and energy field supports us in this goal? We'll learn how to verify a change has been made in our next video when we learn to energy test. It's a vital tool for detecting subconsciously held truths. We'll cover the section of additional life-enhancing statements from the Language of Creation form in our 5th video. Until then, the focus is on you. Fill in your Language of Creation form with something that you've been wanting to create for yourself, and come up with a life-enhancing statement. Have that ready in time for our next video session, and I'll see you then. Master of Destiny's Heart-Centered Soul Academy was inspired to give this 5-part video course, Unlocking Your Potential, as a free gift to the world in support of global evolution. We didn't want to make money from this course because we wanted as many people as possible to have access to this message. We believe that when one is empowered, we all win. To learn more about our academy and its programs, courses, and offerings, please click the link below.